Welcome to our channel. We make science fiction, interesting history and on-demand infotainment. Subscribe and press the bell and never miss our upcoming videos.
Top 20 countries with highest GDP. In at 20, Switzerland. Switzerland has GDP of $679 billion. In at 19, Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has GDP of $687 billion. In at 18, Netherlands. Netherlands has GDP of $831 billion. In at 17, Turkey. Turkey has GDP of $852 billion. In at 16, Indonesia. Indonesia has GDP of $1 trillion. In at 15, Mexico. Mexico has GDP of $1.1 trillion. In at 14, Spain. Spain has GDP of $1.31 trillion. In at 13, Australia. Australia has GDP of $1.32 trillion. In at 12, South Korea. South Korea has GDP of $1.53 trillion. In at 11, Russia. Russia has GDP of $1.57 trillion. In at 10, Canada. Canada has GDP of $1.6 trillion. In at 9, Italy. Italy has GDP of $1.9 trillion. In at 8, Brazil. Brazil has GDP of $2 trillion. In at 7, France. France has GDP of $2.5 trillion. In at 6, United Kingdom. UK has GDP of $2.63 trillion. In at 5, India. India has GDP of $2.65 trillion. In at 4, Germany. Germany has GDP of $3.6 trillion. In at 3, Japan. Japan has GDP of $4.8 trillion. In at 2, China. China has GDP of $12 trillion. In at 1, United States. US has alone GDP of $19 trillion.